Hi Aquarius, welcome to your weekly or fortnightly tarot reading with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. So I'm bringing you a fortnightly reading this week because I am going away on holiday, on a much needed holiday. I know many of you know this. Yeah, basically I still wanted to guide you through the rest of the month of September, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to bring you any reading next week, so I'm combining it all and I'm using the monthly format. So let me know how you like it and let me know how it speaks to you. So I would like to call into both of these decks all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I hope that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's see what the fortnight has in store for you. So your first card out is your actions. It's your actions and your interactions in the world at large and how they may well be received. So effectively this talks about what you do and how it is received by other people. So, well, that card seems to want to come out. So, your actions are ones of investment this fortnight. So what is the Seven of Pentacles? The number 7 talks about endurance, and it talks about, how do we get endurance? We get endurance by testing ourselves, and more importantly, by being tested. You only reach your, you reach endurance by being tested. You reach endurance by being pushed to your limits. So effectively, over the next fortnight, this is going to be about you deciding what it is that you want to invest your time in, what it is that you want to invest your attention into. When you look at this as well, like that's what he's doing. He's growing and he's nurturing his investments. So pentacles are the materials of life. They're the foundation, the physical aspects, the home, the job, the house, the body, the physical body as well, because pentacles can often represent that too. But what I kind of feel like is, obviously, in terms of your actions over the next fortnight, this is about what you actually want to invest in. What you, at the moment, I guess, over the next fortnight, what you're going to be doing, Aquarius, or what we are going to be doing, is really taking stock of what it is now and how it is that we prune and preen and pluck out of our lives what, when you're growing a garden, you weed that garden, you look after it, you nurture it, you give it nourishment, in terms of compost and all of that stuff. And this is effectively saying your life is the garden over the next fortnight, and you're not going to now need to start being really discerning in your actions to demonstrate, right, who do I want around me, who is helping me, who is elevating me, who is building me up. There's that picture that says pay attention to the people that you hang around with, who drains your energy and who builds your energy up. We are all, and it's human to reach for a life raft. When we have a bad time, sometimes we will want to whinge and we need that energy boost from other people, and that's why we hang around with vibrant people. But when there's somebody or something that is a constant drain on your energy, there comes a point where you have to say, I can't do this anymore because it's unhealthy. It's an unhealthy relationship, attachment, bond, or even situation. So yeah, over the next fortnight, your actions very much talk about what do you want to invest your time in, what is worthy of your time, what is worthy of your energy. This is going to be talking about, are you putting your energy into worthy investments for yourself? Are you putting your investments and your time and your attention and your care into things and people and situations that truly serve you and benefit you? And this isn't about being totally selfish. We're Aquarians, for crying out loud. We're all about other people. But sometimes it's about closing ranks. It's about drawing a circle around yourself and leaving outside of that circle what and who no longer deserve to or need to be in your life, and keeping what is inside that circle preserved, whole and pure. And when you can do so, effectively what you're doing is you're weeding out the garden of your life. And when you weed out the garden, you allow the things that are in there to actually grow and flourish. So over the next fortnight, Aquarius, this is very much going to be about us taking the time to really dig deep and really sort of get rid of, whether it's physical baggage, like stuff in the home that we just don't need anymore, things that we're hoarding, things that we're holding on to. This could be belief systems, it could be friends and attachments that you're holding on to, that, you know, you identify with them so strongly because you've identified with them for so long that now you're kind of, you know, it's just kind of an ingrained pattern. So yeah, your actions over the next fortnight are very much going to be about eliminating, by process of, you know, of the natural order of things, what and who doesn't serve you anymore. And it's not about who serves me, it's about what doesn't elevate my energy and allow that energy to grow and prosper. So therefore I can't help others grow and prosper because mine's constantly being sapped by this person, thing, situation, etc., etc. It's about what comes forward with you now and what no longer has a space or a place in your life. Excuse me. Okay, so in your next card, we have your money and your materials. This talks about all of the earthy and sensual pleasures. Okay, so you've got the Knight of Swords. So we read these separately and we read them in conjunction, and that's one of the reasons I really love this spread. Okay, so the Knight of Swords talks about fast and sometimes aggressive communication. So this is interesting because this talks about your investments. I'm going to be really honest with you. Aquarius, the next 2 weeks is not the time for you to invest in anything. And I say anything across the board, especially anything speculative. There's been one other sign that had this message, and I can't remember who it is, but for you guys, especially with this card, don't rush into anything. You know, the phrase comes to mind, only fools rush in where angels fear to tread. And it's very much that kind of energy, because the Knight of Swords talks about making a hasty decision or making decisions in haste, and sometimes it talks about aggressive communication, like aggressive expansion, or, you know, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make it work, and then it kind of doesn't work, and you realise that actually you put too much energy and too much time into something and you didn't really think it through. This is very much, you know, when I read these two cards in conjunction as well, so this is about what and who deserves your time and your energy and how you can act on that going forward. And then you've got this card in your money and your materials. You know, don't put your money where it's too speculative, especially over the next 2 weeks. We've got the new moon on the 20th, so sort of over the next 2 weeks after that, so around the 2nd of October, after this reading has played out, that will be the time for you to then, you know, I feel like we'll be clear enough in our minds, we'll be clear enough in our space, we'll have cleared out enough of the internal and external clutter to really decide then, to really be in a place actually to decide what deserves our investment in terms of our money and our materials. In terms of your physical health, try and keep a track of the mind over the next fortnight. Try and do some meditation, try and do some deep breathing. And I say that because when the mind is, you know, overly active and constantly going, we have a tendency to, you know, the body takes the brunt of that. And since this is your money and your materials, and it includes your physical body as well, especially for Aquarians, because we're so in here all the time and always thinking and always in the future and what's next, what's next, what's next. Slow it down, take a breath, still and school the thoughts so that you can think to yourself, what is my next move? What is going to be my next beneficial move for myself? Now that I have gone through the process of eliminating what, who, and how things no longer serve me, I've cleared out my external baggage, I've cleared out my internal baggage, and now that I'm coming from a place of clarity, now that I'm coming from a place of purity, I can start to focus on creating more money. I feel like the next 2 weeks as well, it's going to be fraught around, you know, around money. But then after that, it's almost like it instantaneously lifts. So you're going to be having, you know, you're going to be speaking about money as if like, you know, because this is the communication, and it's sometimes the aggressive communication. It's really important that you school your mind and you school your thought process around this, because the next 2 weeks you're going to feel the tension of, you know, I'm not generating the money that I want, I'm not generating the finance that I need. It will come. But for now, you must do the work of clearing things out. You must do the work of decluttering your life in all senses, in all ways, shapes and forms. So in your next card, you have your heart and your half. This talks about your personal relationships, you know, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the husband, the wife. The Lover. Such a geek. It also talks about your familial and your friendship, your relationships, you know, so this is all of your relationships. And you get the Page of Cups, beautiful. So the Page of Cups, all of the pages represent a brand new energy. They represent a brand new era of something, and because they're very similar to the Aces, which is why they can represent children, because they represent the purest aspect of something. The Page of Cups talks about your imagination. It talks about, it's a very Piscean card actually. It talks about your imagination, it talks about your internal faculties, it talks about tapping into your internal rich world and sharing that with other people. Not imposing it on other people, because like I said, you know, this can be quite an aggressive card, and it's a card of swiftness as well. And this is why I say to you, it's really important that you slow this down, slow the mind, slow the psychomotor down, and then you'll start to be able to anticipate what comes, and more importantly, you'll be able to do so from a place of stillness, as opposed to you'll be able to do this from a place of pure action as well, as opposed to just reacting to the situations that come up. You know, if you slow yourself down while everything else speeds up, you will be able to anticipate and, more importantly, intuit what is likely to happen next. So then in your relationships, in your interactions with people at a heartfelt level, you've got this, your emotional world, your internal world, your internal manner. And the thing is, you know, emotions is an interesting arena for Aquarians anyway, because we are quite able to detach from them. What people don't realise is that we actually feel at a very, very deep level, because Aquarius is the bridge between logic and intuition. So we know how to do emotions and feelings, and we know how to do, you know, a place of standing back, of putting that stuff outside of ourselves. This is not a time for us to be emotionally detached. The next 2 weeks is going to be vital for you to be attached, because those feelings and this feeling of being attached to things is going to show you what you should be attaching to, what you should allow into your space, what, you know, and listen to your emotions, because they're going to point you in the right direction. This is not a time to detach from your emotions. In fact, it's a time to observe your emotions more than ever before, because it will show you, like I said, you know, about this energy, who is building you up, what is building you up, what is serving you, what is ultimately driving you towards what it is that you most desire. You know, your emotions are going to lead the way on that, and if you can really pay attention to them, it's going to show you which way to go. Okay, and it's really, really important that you do that. In terms of, you know, those of you that are single, don't rush into anything with somebody brand new just to feel something. Feel something first and then go on the date. I encourage you to really, you know, look at what your feelings are before you go out, before you commit to going on a date or hooking up with somebody. Sit with how you actually feel first, and then add somebody else to the mix. Don't try to fill the emotional void with something from the external, because it won't last. You know, you'll be pouring something into a cup that's got a hole in it. That's no good. For those of you that are coupled, this is about sharing your internal world. Like, this is about sharing your emotions now. Finding some outlet, you know, some creative outlet even, to say to, you know, your lover, your partner, your wife, your husband, your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, like, you know, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm going through at the moment. And, you know, rather than letting it bottle up and then you just explode, find some way to show them, to demonstrate, this is how I actually feel. And I might not be doing so well with that. You know, it's about honesty, and one of the things about Aquarians is we are brutally honest. But can you be so honest with yourself? And it's funny, because one of the things that comes to mind with that is, I don't know how many of you ever saw the first Daredevil with Ben Affleck, and his friend says to him, tell me, you know, what happens to your innate bullshit detector when it detects your own bullshit? You know, ask yourself that question. If you've got this stuff going on internally, how great is your ability to be honest and say, look, this is what I'm actually feeling, this is what I'm experiencing. That's just as important. In terms of your social interactions, yeah, you know, do so from a place of imagination and fun and adventure. Don't do this from a place of, you know, act. Don't react. It's going to be really important for you over the next few weeks. So, over the next two weeks. Your communications. Your communications is all about movement. Your communications is all about what's next. So the Knight of Pentacles, interesting as well, because I am hoping to purchase a new car soon. So this is one of the things that I'm very much thinking about. It's what I'm talking about at the moment. How to get the best deal. You know, what to do. It also represents small trips. And it represents modes of transport. So a car, a horse and carriage, a 4x4. You know, or just all modes of transport. So yeah, interestingly enough, and this is, you know, because the Page of Cups is also about your desires as well. You know, your innate desires, things that you would like, or you would like to happen, or you would like to create. So in your communications, this is about movement. It's about deciding where you want to go from here and communicating that to other people, but also really having a good, clear idea internally of where it is that you want to go from here, of what it is that's important to you now, of what it is that's going to be important for you to create. And the interesting thing about this as well is, as I said already in the beginning, I'm going on holiday. I've got 2 knights here, and the knights are movement cards. You know, they're cards of movement, of travel. So if you are going on any travels or retreats or anything like that, you know, go and be open to the experiences that you have. This is one of the other taglines for the Page of Cups, being open to what comes and what you experience in that feeling of pure emotion, you know, and allowing that emotion to flow rather than suppressing it or detaching from it, which is the Aquarian tendency to do. So very interesting, a very introverted yet externally processed couple of weeks for us, Aquarius. Let's see what the destiny is, or the overarching theme. Okay. Ooh, 1 card's come out, and guess what it is? Bam! The Fool card. Amazing. The Fool card actually represents the sign of Aquarius because it represents the world, and it also represents Uranus, you know, or Uranus, which is like, you know, another part of the Aquarian vernacular. You know, it talks about the new, the progressive, the brand new, the surprise, the thing that you don't see coming. It talks about the shock value and all of that. When you see the Fool card, it's like a giant reset button, because it brings you something, someone, some new place that you've never been before, that you've never experienced. And so therefore, in bringing you new experiences, it's really even more important to pay attention to how you feel, because it's going to give you a pointer in the right direction. So over the next 2 weeks, if you find yourself being invited by somebody you've never met before to somewhere that you've never been before, or to experience something that you've never experienced before, go. Because in finding or having these new experiences with these brand new people, you are going to have the ability to tap into what is infinite, what is coming for you, what is brand new for you. And more importantly, when you can tap into what's brand new, you then get to start to really create things. This is something that comes completely out of the blue, that you cannot anticipate in any way, shape or form. The Fool card is an amazing card because it represents pure potential. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself, and I hope this has helped you in some way, shape or form. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. I would love you forever for it. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so below. And for those of you that are continued subbies, thank you so much. I love you and I appreciate every single one of you, every single comment, every like, every share. It's amazing. Thank you. For those of you just passing through, I hope you found something that helps and that's relevant for you. And for those of you that are new subbies, welcome to Radiant Reality. And I'm so glad to have you, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care.